Spiritual Teaching 163. Love each other. 1. People. I see your tears and I hear your sobs. I contemplate your works and sufferings. I see the chains of poverty and deprivation that you bear, the disappointment that afflicts your heart, because you have convinced yourself that in the world there is no justice or charity. Then you pray, saying to me, Lord, I am not worthy of your peace. If I do not deserve your benefits, give me strength to bear the sufferings and injustices of this life. 2. In those moments my presence makes itself felt, telling you, persevere in patience, remain vigilant, do not despair to wait, because you don't know when my peace can knock on your door. Rest your head on my chest, and there stop hearing the rumor of war. Forget your afflictions and think that, being with me, you will not die. Come to me, accompany me. In me, you will find the brother, the spouse, the friend, the father. 3. Strengthen your heart by listening to my word, so that when you have to return to the fight, you do it with strength, lifting your face with a smile of hope. 4. Do not hesitate at the time of the test. Do not say that I did not listen to you in the moment of pain, in the most difficult instance. As long as there is breath of life in your being, as long as your body breathes, while your mind thinks and suffers in your spirit, I will be with you, because I am the life that beats and vibrates throughout the universe. 5. Know how to pray, not only in your hours of distress, but also in your moments of joy. You only offer me tears, sorrows and more sorrows, but in your joys you forget me. When your heart is celebrating, then you close your doors to me. 6. I must speak to you and prepare you for your fight, which will be great. I want there to be light inside and outside of you, and inside and outside your home. Practice virtue, because this way, nobody will be able to surprise you sleeping. 7. I have announced to you that caravans of people from foreign countries will come to this soil, in search of their peace for their heart and light for your spirit. They will find the disciples of this doctrine whom they will question. They will ask testimony of what they heard and will be put to the test to confirm the truth of this word. 8. Don't you think that your heart should by then be a true source of charity, goodness, and a willing light to overflow to aid the needs of your brothers? Wouldn't it please you that each of my people's homes was a school where divine teaching was practiced? 9. In the second era, I took my teaching to many places in Judea, and at each step I found a place on purpose to make my word heard. The Master was always watching, and when he was put to the test, he was never surprised. Valleys heard my voice, the mountains echoed my words, the waves of the sea received the vibration of my messages, and the solitude of the deserts was illuminated by my presence. 10. I want you to unite, that this people is like an oasis in the desert of the world. I know that men will seek you, because they will tire of destroying, sinning, killing. Before the words of light, and before the lofty thoughts, the spirit today asleep will wake up, and my doctrine will emerge on earth like an ark of salvation. That time will be a test for this people, because many hearts will be hanging on their witness. 11. Why cower then or rebel now before the tests, if they are the chisel that is polishing your heart, so that tomorrow you can and know how to be the interpreter of your Master? 12. I want to hear you say to me, thank you, Master, your trials have tempered me and your light has encouraged me in the path. My sick are healed and I have managed to console the sad one on my way. 13. I hope that others tell me, that I prepare them to be my farmers, that I entrust them with the farming tools to sow the seeds of peace and love in the hearts of his brothers. 14. My charity is pending your request, to grant you the divine gift of being workers in the spiritual countryside. 15. Now I come to console you in your afflictions, Sick people who throughout your life have carried the cross of pain, come to me, I will heal you. I will teach you to fight your diseases and to know how to wait patiently and with humility for the moment of liberation from the pain that has been weighing you down. I will also show you all that with the pain you have achieved a part of your restitution. 16. Come to me, all those who have brought a load of sufferings. It is in vain that you seek balsam and consolation among men, because charity has fled from the heart of humanity, and you must know that without charity, you cannot do wonders. Science alone is not enough to save the world from its pain. 17. Men of science, full of vanity, have come to regard divine revelations as unworthy of their attention. They do not want to rise spiritually to me, and when they do not understand something of what surrounds them, they deny in order not to have to confess their inability and ignorance. Many of them do not want to believe more than what they can see. 18. What consolation can these men bring to the hearts of their fellow men when they do not recognize the principle of love? What is it that governs creation, and furthermore, they ignore the spiritual meaning of life? 19. I knew that these times of predominance of materialistic science, of selfishness, of indifference towards those who suffer and perish, and that is why I offered to send you the Comforter. And here you have the fulfillment of that promise. I have come in spirit to clarify all the mysteries, so that you may become the children of light. I come to bring you the divine consolation in this revelation, and with its help, you will be able to overcome all the trials of life and rise to me. 20. I have called you, and when you arrived in my presence, bathed in tears, you told me that you are the most needy of the earth, showing me your misery, making me present your lack of knowledge and lack of gifts to make a way for you among the vicissitudes of life. It is then that I have revealed to you that you are far from being the outcasts or the poorest. I have tested you, and you found yourself crying when you felt disinherited, without having discovered that in your spirit you carry a treasure. 21. The sick man cried because he did not have a doctor who was within his power to heal him, and he had not discovered that in his spirit was overflowing the healing balm. 22. He who cried for his ignorance did not perceive that in the silence of his heart, the divine voice of his master resounded, calling him to the spirit realm. The one who believed himself disinherited had not discovered all the gifts with which the Father sent him to fulfill his mission on earth. It was necessary for the truth to make its way to you, making light in your heart, so that you would awaken from the deep lethargy and you would wake up full of faith, saying, "We are not alone. The Lord is with us. We are not outcasts. Our being is filled with the gifts of the Father. We will not perish under the weight of pain, because we carry in our hearts the ineffable consolation of the Master's word, which gives us its light in each of our steps. We are not at the mercy of the will of men. Our fate does not depend on them, but on the will of our Father. There will no longer be obstacles, stumbling blocks, or crossroads that weaken us, making us desist from continuing on the true path. For pain we will find consolation. In the darkness we will come to make the light shine, and in our struggle, we will feel that power reaches us. Who has saved us? Who has restored us to health and life? It was the Master who with his divine word has returned us to the true path, giving us the consolation promised by him from the beginning. 23. Love the truth, O disciples, understand it and live it. He who knows the truth carries within himself the joy of seeing the light of God. He knows peace and he walks firmly on the paths of compliance. 24. This work will be criticized and rejected by many, knowing that the spiritual beings were manifested in it. But do not fear, because only the ignorant will be the ones who fight that part of my teachings. 25. How many times did the apostles, prophets, and envoys of the Lord speak to the world under the influence of the spiritual world without humanity realizing it? And how many times in your life each of you have acted and spoken under the will of spiritual beings, without you being aware of it? Yes, this has always happened. Now I have confirmed it. 26. Jesus, in the second era, taught you that the human mind is a door through which the spiritual world can enter. Taught you to get rid of troubled beings who with their evil influences come to test men on their path of atonement for the faults they have committed. Just as he also taught you to prepare yourselves to such a degree that the Holy Spirit would speak by man's mouth. 27. However, how much has been profited from these revelations and how they have been desecrated? It is for that reason that my work in this time has been and will continue to be fought. But those who truly believe in it will continue studying and practicing so that tomorrow they can explain my teachings and remove those who are confused and those who profane my doctrine. 28. At this time, I wanted to expand and finish explaining all these revelations, and for that purpose I sent Elijah to illuminate your understanding and prepare the way for you, so that you would not be confused with my arrival and with that of my spiritual hosts. 29. Elijah in spirit knocked on the doors of the chosen one at this time, the one who without knowing anything of this communication, he was overwhelmed, subdued and defeated by the spiritual force that called to his heart to induce him to give himself to this service. That was the first seed, which was cultivated by the first believers, that gave the first flowers and the first fruits. 30. The plant grew and became a bush. Its flowers were the communication of the beings of light that as emissaries, prophets, guardian angels, and counselors came to people. And the fruits were communications from your Master through his divine ray, which has brought you the sweet taste of life. 31. How could you destroy in yourself the idea of death without feeling the existence of the beings that yesterday were on earth and who today invisibly inhabit another abode? How can you free yourselves from those who stalk you and cause evil? And how can you harmonize with those who are all light and all good? Just feeling his presence, listening to his voice and following his advice, feeling its manifestations and watching how they are effective in their works. It is necessary that the testimony of this people spread throughout the world to convince the men who, saying they believe in life, do not believe in resurrection and eternity. They are the dead who watch over their dead, because they are afraid of knowing. 32. People, take advantage of the days that still remain of this spiritual communication through the understanding of man. You know that this lesson will be brief, that the fruit of your experience will be the true testimony, clean and free of mystification, that you take to your brothers tomorrow. 33. I will not allow you to materialize the spiritual once the moment marked by my will. But you should know that although the ray of the Lord and spiritual beings are no longer manifesting in your brain, the inspiration of your Lord is eternal in everyone who rises in prayer. And the light of the spirit world will illuminate from one world to another world, from one spirit to another spirit, and it will reach all my children. 34. Blessed are all who truly take advantage of this time of teaching, because after the year of 1950, will be those who spread the seed of my doctrine. You, who have been part of the foliage of the stout tree, help men to find in him the fruit of life and truth. 35. People, if when you speak, you did so feeling in your heart the truth of my lessons, you would see it come true many of your words, and if you get to change all your words into works, you would be making true prodigies. But if the Spirit is not the one that speaks through matter, if it is not the one that manifests itself, it cannot give peace or health. 36. The Spirit will be able to make its voice heard if you are prepared. The Son of the Father who dwells in you has powers very great that his Creator has granted him to help those who are in need. That is why I am teaching you, not letting those who make their complaint present to you not heard, not letting the voice of the one who calls you get lost in the desert. Give what you receive, the law that your Father has taught you. Have I loved you? Then you can give love to your brothers. Give that brotherly love to each other. 37. Man does not only live on material things, he must also sustain himself on spiritual riches. I speak like this to these multitudes who humbly listen to me, and my doctrine is transforming them little by little. But when will you wear this light to all the peoples of the earth? When will you make all men purify themselves in my truth? 38. Everything has been desecrated by man, not just his spirit. The waters are polluted. The air is stale and saturated with disease and death. And I ask you, with what doctrines and in what time do you intend to purify yourselves? When will you get to cleanse your spirit and body? Or is it only your body you want to wash? What would you achieve with it? Fool yourselves. First cleanse the heart and mind, which is where all bad thoughts and bad deeds come from. Incarnate beings need spiritual bread to get to feel, even for a few moments, what it is, spirit. 39. Look for other bread in addition to what is necessary for each day. Look for another dwelling in addition to your home. That bread is that of my word, and that abode is in infinity. 40. While I am speaking, your heart also communicates to me many of its wishes, of its hopes. I will answer some of my children, who on their way have experienced the presence of spiritual beings who you usually call dark or trouble. 41. Why do you ask me to remove these beings from the places where they usually manifest themselves? They need to know that they live after their apparent death, to comply with the law of restitution and to gain experience. They comply, albeit involuntarily, with his mission to give in believing and materialize men the faithful witness that the spirit survives the flesh. 42. That is why I will withdraw them when the time appointed by me arrives. Now they have a mission to perform, so do not ask me to take them away from you. They must wait for their end. Why do you want everything in life to be according to what you want and not how it suits others? I warn you that, if you are generous, if you have charity with those beings, they will not bother you. 43. At this moment, raise your thinking. Ask and you will receive. Ask what you will for yourself and for your brothers. In these moments when you ask and that you have the faith that it is I who is present, be silent, so that you may enter into communion with me. I listen to spirits. I reach hearts. I speak to you from spirit to spirit. I remove all pain from your heart, all the anguish, sadness, and disappointment. There is not a single heart that I have not visited. There is not a single thought that has not been known. There is not a single pain that I have not freed my children from, to bring them with me. 44. This is how I want you to pray. This is how I want you to always come to receive me. You will not show your love with external demonstrations that only serve so that they see you. Seek me in silence. Be alone with your Lord, and you will achieve to feel my presence in your heart. And you will hear my voice that tells you, I come to give you my charity, because you are passengers in this world. 45. Elijah is gathering the chosen spirits, incarnate and disembodied, so that united they are strong, because the tests that lie ahead are great. But you will emerge illuminated by the light of my Holy Spirit, because I love you and I will not let you fall. Prepare yourselves so that you analyze my word and know how to separate the wheat from the weeds. Watch and pray, so that you do not stray from this path, and the pain will not surprise you. 46. Understand that it is not I who brings pain, because I am your Father who comes to adorn your spirit. It is yourselves who are sowing pain on your path, and when it surprises you, you say to me, O Lord, why does pain overwhelm us? But behold, I only come to give you love, to bless you and to give you my teaching. 47. Hear my parable. 48. On a road a woman was marching leading 3 little children. She lavished on them the tenderness of a mother, feeding and dressing them with great affection. On one occasion, the oldest of those children said to the woman, "The time that you have been working to feed and clothe us, I am the eldest of my brothers, and I am willing to do what you entrust to me to help you in supporting my brothers. So to my middle brother, when he's grown up, will work to help also the youngest when he grows up. He will work like us, and we will all be united in the same way." 49. The woman told him, "You are still small, and truly I tell you, you still do not know the world. Men with their wickedness, they will try to harm you, and then you would have to return to me when you are full of pain, and as I love you. I do not want that you get lost or that you go in search of pain." That little boy, submissive and obedient, said to her, "I will do whatever is your will. I will wait until the time is right and I can go through the places you designate." 50. That woman told him, "Certainly you have already learned the first lesson, and therefore I consider you as the greatest of your brothers, not only because of your age, but because you are obedient and thoughtful." 51. Years passed and that child had become a young man. His brothers, who had also grown up, imitated the reflection of his older brother, whose intelligence was getting bigger every day. 52. On one occasion, the woman said to the young man, "Do you want to travel the roads of the world? I'm going to give you a book whose content you will study so that you can record his teaching in your mind and in your heart, and in truth I tell you, that she will make you emerge unscathed from all the dangers, and pain will not surprise you." Then she guided him, together with his brothers, towards a hut where a venerable old man lived, to whom he said, "Here are my children, whom you have long waited, because before me you knew them, and I hope you will receive them and deliver them according to your will." 53. The old man looked at them with great love and said to the woman, "Your children are good, but they still need preparation so that they can walk the roads, because they are still weak and the world could pollute them with its wickedness. Give me the book that you carry in your hands so that I may reveal great teachings about it. Analyze these lessons, and there the truth will make you come out ahead in all dangers." Addressing the young man, he said, "You will learn in this book, and with love you will teach your brothers, so that the latter in turn may teach the last, all bearing witness to this teaching with your works of love." 54. The eldest of the brothers, looking at the old man, whose face was so sweet and peaceful, prostrated himself before him and said, "Let me kiss your hands and your forehead." The old man said, "Do it, because you are worthy of my love, and with it, great works you will achieve." Then the woman said to the young man, "Get ready, because you are going to move away from my lap. But even being far away you will be with me. I hope you always remember your brothers and meditate that they must follow the example that you give them. Do not tread false. Be like a clean and pure mirror, where they can contemplate themselves, so that following your example, free yourself from pain." 55. The young man replied, "Because I love you and the good old man, I will do everything possible to be a good example before my brothers." The propitious time arrived, and the young man left for different places, and in all of them he contemplated that evil and bitterness were great, and that hearts were hardened by sin. For an instant he was afraid, but remembering the words, the old man opened the book, and on the first page he found the law that should govern humanity, so that through his compliance was strong. He found lessons of infinite love with which he could deliver the balm that would relieve his pain to the sick and to encourage the sad, the light to restore sight to the blind, to enlighten the confused, and wisdom to bring peace to the hearts of his brothers. 56. Great was the joy of that young man, who in the middle of the desert raised his spirit and said to the old man, "Blessed are you, Lord. With your teachings you have enlightened me, and I feel that you are dying in my heart, and that you have inspired my works that I should do according to your will. I am willing to face the fight to deliver the inhabitants of this world your divine message, to approach those who feel sadness in their hearts, those thirsty for your teaching. 57. That young man contemplated that those crowds, in addition to the pain that they felt in their hearts, covered an immense darkness. They were hungry for justice and charity. 58. Full of love, he approached those crowds and said, "From a far place I come to you in fulfillment of the mandate of an old man, to deliver the balm to your sufferings and prepare your understanding. Listen to the message that I bring you. Open the doors of your heart and shelter the truth, because I love you, as I love the old man who sent me towards you, and I give you his charity." 59. Then those needy extended their hands, and when they felt that present of love, tears came from their eyes of repentance, and the words of the one sent were like crystalline water that quenches thirst. They felt the peace and thanked the old man who had sent to them that young man who taught them by example the path of his redemption. 60. The young man said to them, "What you have received, keep it in your hearts, and do not allow time or the evil of the world to take from you, because then your restitution would be double." 61. Those rejoicing crowds asked him where he came from and what his name was, to which the young man replied, "I cannot tell you, just know that I am an envoy. Have confidence in what you have received, because if you have faith, your leprosy will disappear." 62. The people, feeling healthy and strong, sang a love song that they did not know before, and led by the young man, they offered the old man their faith, their devotion, their love. 63. When the young man returned to the old man's side to deliver the fulfillment of his mission, he contemplated that the one who had sent to deliver his message of love to his fellow men. He clasped him against his heart, and addressing the woman who had taken him, said, "Here is the son who has known how to fulfill the mission that I entrusted to him. Let his example serve as a guide to your brothers, so that when the time comes they will get up to preach my truth in the heart of humanity." 64. Beloved people, once again I have given you my lesson of love so that you can analyze it, and may it be the light that guides you in the path of your life, so that when you manage to fulfill your mission, you will come closer to your reward and show you, like Moses, the lights of the promised land. My peace be with you.